morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now, usually what I do is when I'm using the Jeff's Rodney cup here is I'll turn it like this and I'll say, let's roll back. Because I did come back to the model table last night for quite a bit. As you can see, I've almost got the torpedoes done and ready to paint. We'll be talking about paint in a minute here. However, back to the cup. I didn't press record at all last night. I don't even think I had the camera at the model table. Anyway, maybe that's why I got these all done. But we'll have to turn it this way so we can see the picture of the Rodney. Yeah, we don't get to see that too often. Okay, now speaking of cups, got a comment from a viewer, and he says something about reminding me that we got no cup for our submarine build. Yeah, well, if you remember, I guess maybe a month ago I was talking about, designing another cup, and I think I probably will. They're kind of pricey. Yeah, well, I guess it's not that bad. For the fun, the enjoyment we get out of those cups, I guess it's kind of worth it. So I'll probably design a cup similar to what I've done the others. I got to find a line drawing. I find that the line drawings seem to show up a lot better. Like on the Yamato mug here. Okay, you can see we got a nice line drawing here, and I wrap it all the way around. Well, it's kind of my intention of doing that with this sub. I've got to find something on the internet that's already been drawn, and yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to actually do that, but maybe it's because it's sort of a one-off thing, and it's just for me, and I'm not making money on it. If I am infringing on a copyrighted drawing, I don't think I'm going to get myself into trouble over it. And if somebody complains, I'll throw the mug out. Nobody's going to complain. Legally, that is. Okay, okay, what's happened here this morning? We did have a sunrise. I did see the walkers this morning. I never saw them yesterday. I don't know if they didn't show up or I just didn't look good enough. But there's only so much time I want to spend, looking for stuff like that. I've got more important things to worry about right now. And one of the things I got to worry about right now is last night I was perusing through the manual, and I'm realizing that I think already in step number 2 here, where we're going to be placing the bunk beds against part of the bulkhead, I think that the bulkhead should be painted before we stick the bunk beds on there. And then there's other little parts here, the G29 and the G9, that should be all painted and detailed before I stick it in place. We shouldn't want to be trying to mask stuff off later. So bottom line is, what am I going to do about the paint? Am I going to go with the painting guide here? And I was talking about the Mr. Hobby paints, I think in the last episode or something, and nobody came back to me and said, don't use Mr. Hobby paints, they're terrible. So, one thing I am not sure about is that in the Mr. Hobby paints here, for instance, the very top one, it says light gray H 338, and it's got the 338 in black and in white, if you know what I mean here. What does that mean? Does that mean one way it's gloss and the other way it's flat? I don't know. I don't think I've ever got a Mr. Hobby brand of paint. Now, and there's another thing I could do. You remember on the other builds, I had pretty good luck with using shades of gray. And if I was to have maybe 4 shades of gray, even though it's not right, and it wasn't that color, at least I could bring out the various details as I put them in. In other words, if I had a very small piece stuck on a bulkhead, and the bulkhead was light gray, which I do believe they've got it here in the color guide. It's yeah, light gray H338. That's what a lot of the hull is. Now, if you stick something small on it, I would have it a darker gray, and it's sort of, you can actually see it. And then you're not messing around with about what, 16 different colors here. Yeah, there is that thought. Now, a few minutes ago, probably about half an hour ago, I turned the car warmer on my car. So it's actually warming up out there, and the snow is sliding down off the front window already. So it's not that cold out right now. What do we got? It's only minus 0.7 degrees. So it's not even 1 degree into freezing yet. And it's probably going to warm up a little. I don't think it's supposed to snow today. So today might be a good day to go to the hobby store and get some supplies. But then on the other hand, they're also predicting that the rest of the week there's supposed to be a lot of sunshine and not too cold. So I've got to decide, what am I going to do here about paint? Because there's, it looks like this entire build is going to be paint as you go. Yeah, it's not like it's not like the other builds. Well, let's just, for the fun of it, let's rearrange ourselves here and get ourselves recomposed, and just take a look at step 2 and get the parts, and just see what all do we need here, and what do we have to actually do to them. Don't want to rush into this thing and find out that you know, later down the road that I painted myself into a corner. If you or maybe I should say not painted myself into a corner. Okay, let's recompose here. Now, moments before I shot this scene that you just saw, I noticed in my surveillance monitor Missy coming to the door. So I jumped up from the model table and, well, I don't jump anymore, but I got up rather quickly. You know, we don't want to keep a dog waiting, right? And I made a beeline for the front door. Yeah. Hello, Missy. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Oh, you are so excited again. You are just so excited again. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. You're just so happy to see me. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got over here for you. Was that good? Was that good? You want another one, don't you? Well, you come back this afternoon and we'll give you another one, all right? Yeah. You come back this afternoon and we'll give you another one. Yeah, you're such a good dog. Yes, you are. Okay, see you later.
Thank you.
Okay, see ya. Okay, this is our one and only G-sprue. Oh, by the way, I know I mentioned this before, but I just want to throw it in again. We have great neighbors around here. One of the reasons why they come by with Missy is just to check to make sure I'm okay. The neighbors, a lot of the neighbors know I'm by myself here. And yeah, they come by, and if I don't answer my door, I remember just not that long ago, I went somewhere with the car. I forget where it was, and I was on my way back, and a neighbor next door phoned me for something. I didn't answer the phone, and then got kind of concerned, came over, and door was locked, couldn't get in. And just as I was coming back with my car, he was on his way over with the key emergency key to let himself in, just to make sure I was okay. He hadn't noticed that the car was missing. I had failed to put a note or something on my door to, that I was out. Yeah, that was foolish on my part. I should have been more thoughtful. But the bottom line is, we have great neighbors. Yeah, great neighbors. Also a couple of doors over, Danny and Phyllis. Phyllis was walking down the street, and she noticed one morning I didn't open my curtains like I usually do, and she had mentioned she was a little bit concerned. So it's really nice that people are sort of watching. So okay, now about this stuff here, we need a G29. Well, clearly it's this one right here. I don't even need to look for the numbers. And G9 is clearly this one right here. Okay, so we can just quickly get those. We only need one of each. Whereas these things here, we have to make two. Okay, so we have to put. Oh, I see what's happening. The G37s, which would be these right here, have to have these Z7s. Okay, Z7. Now just be careful here. Let's not get rambunctious and break something. Okay. Alright, Z. Alright, so we need a total of 6 of these, so we need a couple of these Z sprues, or Z sprues. And, yeah, these pieces are sure big. Like this is a bunk bed. Now, is there any... Oh yeah, here we go. If I turn it this way, I was just thinking that doesn't really... The other side was very smooth, but this side you can see it's sort of molded, you might say, to look like sheets. I guess you put it, okay, you get the idea. So let's just get these parts here. Oh, the hobby store, it's not open until 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. today. At least the hobby store that's close by. I don't feel like going to the one on the other side of the city here. So what do we got here? It's 11:35 in the morning. So I got about an hour and a half to kill here before I can get into the hobby store, and I have to make a list of everything we need. I'm noticing that this is kind of scary here. I'm noticing that one of the paints involved is the same as the Tamiya 19, which I didn't want to, which I said I was never going to do again. Having paint that was the same color as the sprue. Yeah. So we might have a bit of a problem going on there. Anyway, let me just get the parts here. Now, I hope I will have remembered to have sped this up when I'm doing my editing. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty long and drawn out, isn't it? Now, do we have everything here? I think we got all the pieces. Yeah, just get these all cleaned up, and I don't think there's anything else that we need here. So let me grab my manual. Excuse my reach. Yeah, we got it. Oh, no, we got to get this big piece here, the G38. Okay, it's obviously this one right here. It sure seems funny you working with large interior pieces. There we go. Now we have all the pieces. Okay, now for the tops of the beds or bunks, if we go into the painting and marking guide here, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like H310. Okay, well clearly H310 is this brown right here. Okay, now I would think that the time to paint this is before it gets glued onto here, and this piece also has to be painted something different. Let's see if it's. I guess when I was in there I should have. Okay, it doesn't really say here. It's got the arrow points, the railings that keep the guys from falling out. Yeah, I guess a submarine could roll a little bit, especially if it got hit by a depth charge. Okay, is that H8? H8 is the railing here. This is kind of hard to see, isn't it? It's colored very, very dark. I wonder if there's a better. Yeah, there are other drawings, but they don't really give the color. I would think probably it's the H8, which is sort of a silver color. Okay. All right. In other words, we need to get quite a few different colors here. I should really stop messing around in my manual and make up my list. I already know that I'm out of extra thin almost, so may as well get a new extra thin and an extra thin quick setting. I don't need any of the other kind, I don't think. Where is it here? No, I got lots of the regular, lots of the regular. Okay, another thing I want to be careful of is that I don't find that I have not gotten enough of a particular color. So it could well be that, okay, now this is going to be clear, so I don't know why they show it painted, because maybe, well, I guess maybe the other side is going to be painted. But as near as I can tell, this is going to, remember, this is going to be the open side, or clear side, that you can see into the interior. So the other side would be painted right here, and that is the H337. So H337, it might be a good idea to get 3 of them, because I don't, 2 would probably do it, but I would think that 3 would be safe. I don't know how expensive these are. I haven't looked them up yet on their website. I want to make sure that they have this stuff in stock before I go down there. Okay. Then as for the gray which takes care of a lot of the top, all of the top actually, it looks like it is all the 338. Okay. And okay, neither one of those. Okay, the 308 is the XF19, which is almost the same color as the plastic. So that's good. There's going to be a slight difference. Make it a lot easier for spraying. Okay, so I would think maybe 2 of the paint for the top and 3 for the paint of for the rest of the hull, just to play it safe. But I would think, and I could be wrong, that probably 1 jar or pot, depending where you live, would be enough for all the other little parts individually, as long as you know, as long as it doesn't dry out on me. But hopefully by that time, like right now, I'm using paints that go back to the Bismarck build, and I'm still getting some use out of them. So I'm just thinking in terms of I don't want to have to drive in the winter time if I don't have to. Don't mind in the summertime. Okay, let's make a list here, I guess. Or maybe I could just walk in with this thing and say, hey, this is what I need. Only I need 3 of these and 2 of these. Yeah. Okay, I am on Eliminator's website right now. Eliminator's the hobby store that's, you might say, close to me. And I am rather surprised to see that they do not seem to stock Mr. Hobby paints. I got model color, and I noticed that they seem to also have Vallejo. They got tons of Tamiya. Okay, what I had done here was I highlighted acrylics. They had 602 acrylic paints here, but in the search box up here, I tried Mr. Hobby, MR period Hobby. You know, they just don't seem to have it. They're not answering their phone right now, so let's check and see what Hobby Sense has got. Could be I'm going to have to go at this a different way. Go paints, and see what happens here. Brands, Mr. Hobby. Mr. Hobby, there's only 9? Only 9? And none of it is paint. Okay, in that case, I wonder, you know, I wonder what I should do here. Should I just go with Tamiya and Vallejo? That's disappointing. That's really disappointing. There is one more hobby store, but they're in Toronto. I've ordered from them before. I'm going to have to think about this. Well, I was getting myself all ready to go to the hobby store. I guess that's out now. This is really surprising. I checked that place in Toronto. They're not selling it either. I'm wondering if maybe Mr. Hobby here in Canada has gone the way of testers. It's just not... Yeah. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and clean up my parts here. It's getting on. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got a coffee visitor, so yeah, I got to wrap it up anyway. Pretty much wasted the whole morning. I should have checked first to see if it was available. I just thought I'd seen it the last time I was in Eliminator, but maybe I saw something else. Maybe it was Mr. Color I saw. I don't know. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.